Good morning, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to May's Interval Training. I'm Rebecca Campbell, Senior Director at Peloton. Thank you for joining today's training, which is all around Oracle Digital Assistant. The format for today is roughly 20 minutes of a demonstration by my colleague Jack Link, followed by a few minutes of Q&A. Just a few housekeeping items before we get started. Everyone will be muted during the training and chat will be disabled. So please put your questions in the Q&A. We'll be monitoring that thread and we'll get to the questions after the demo. If you have additional questions or we weren't able to get to your questions today, please feel free to reach out to us. Also, if you have ideas for future trainings you'd like to see, please let us know. Without further ado, let's get into the Oracle Digital Assistant. Over to you, Jack.
Yeah, thank you, Rebecca, and welcome everyone to our interval training on Oracle's HCM Digital Assistant. Before we start, I would like to lay out some topics about this digital assistant. So first, I'll give a brief description and demo of what the digital assistant's capabilities are. Then we'll go to accessing the digital assistant's configuration environment, then extending the delivered digital assistant and its skills. After that, we'll look at the training of the digital assistant, creating a channel for it, and then actually deploying the digital assistant in your environment. So you can watch this and deploy it today if you would like. So first, what is a digital assistant? So if you look in the bottom right corner down here, you'll notice this box. And when you open it, a little chat bot is going to say, hello, I'm the Oracle Digital Assistant. Here are some things I can do, and it's going to display some options. So I'm sure we all have interacted with something similar to this on a website, and you go back and forth and try and get some information, have a conversation with it, and maybe even get a task completed with these bots. And this is no different. This is that same idea. And so it can help with a ton of things within Oracle HCM if you have the right modules and data set up for it. So for example, if you have an absences module enabled and employees can come in here and they might want to look for their PTO or maybe accrued sick time, they can view that in this bot. They can ask the bot and it'll tell them how much they have. If you have payroll set up, employees could ask the bot, what was my last pay stub? What did that look like? And it can show them in this little window here. And you can even show them tax documents if you'd like. Another example would be recruiting. So if you have a recruiting module set up, recruiters can come in here and view their requisitions. Employees can search for jobs that are on the internal site as well. And so it kind of has this culmination of all these little modules that can be searched up in this chatbot. So let me just show a quick demo of this sort of back and forth conversation. So for the Peloton, we have the expenses module enabled, and this is part of the HCM skill. And so what I'm going to say is create an expense, and it's going to enter that as me saying it. I could have also typed it in, and it's going to say, tell me something like taxi for $25. And so I'm just going to say that I had a meal. So I'm going to say meal at King's Fish House. And then when I reply, it's going to think for a second. It's going to say, okay, I'm recognizing that this is going to be an expense for you. And so it's going to say, I'm going to create it. And then tell me some details of it. I'm going to say meal during travel. So as this back and forth goes, I'll say this meal was on Sunday. And what was the total amount? I'll say $110. And then it's going to bring up what kind of expense it was. I'll say it was a meal. And then you'll see that it's taken all of the things that I've put into the chatbot and organized it into an expense. So I'll say create. That looks good to me. And it'll ask if I would like to provide a receipt as well. And so I'll say, yeah, sure, I'll upload a receipt. I have one of those. And you'll notice this little attachment in the bottom right, this attachment button. You can attach an image, video, audio, or even your location. So let's share this. And I will select a receipt that I have. It'll pop that in there. And then it's going to think, because now it's compiling all of my details as well as that image into an expense item. So once that pulls this through, we should be able to see it in the expenses module area. It says, okay, I created that expense. You know, do you want to do anything else? Do you want to modify? So let's just make sure that this pulled all the details through and close that. And we'll see here on Sunday, 5/19, we had an individual meal for $110 at King's Fish House. So I'll open this expense. And you'll see that it even has that receipt that I attached to it and that I can download it for further review if I'd like. And here are all those details. So that's just one example that we're using at Peloton for using this digital assistant. There's a ton more, but that's just one I wanted to show. I think the best part about this digital assistant bot is that it can save people time and clicks when they're in the system for people that might not be too familiar with it. For example, if somebody is logging into Oracle for the first time and they need to view their pay stub, they might not know how to do that yet. And instead of reaching out to an HR representative or you know, your IT team, they can ask the chatbot and it might be able to give them an answer. So it saves them time, saves your company's time as well. So pretty cool. Let's jump into configuring this. If you would like to configure it, you can set this up pretty easily, and I'm going to show you that really quick. So let's jump in and go to setup and maintenance. Make sure the user you have has that capability. You'll go to search, and manage digital assistant is the task. And when you click this link, it's going to take you to what I call the IDCS environment, Identity Cloud Service. So it lives outside of this SaaS tool. The digital assistant has a lot of capabilities outside of Oracle. You can apply it to many different areas. And so it's separate from the Oracle SaaS tool with a connection back into Oracle Web at a later point, which I'll show. And so when you click this task, it's going to take you to this IDCS environment I was mentioning. If you get an error at this point that says you don't have access, you'll need to reach out to your cloud account admin and make sure that they give you the correct privileges and roles in the cloud account to get access to this. You can't get the access to this area through Security Console. You'll need to reach out to your cloud account admin. Once you have access, you'll go to this top left area, development, and then digital assistants. And you probably won't see as many digital assistants here as I do. You might only have one, or you might have zero. If you don't have this FA digital assistant tile here, no worries, go to the store. And to mention, this comes free with HCM Core. So if you have Core right now as a subscription, you have access to all the capabilities that I'm showing now, as long as you have the other modules within it set up. So let's take a look. If you don't have that FA Digital Assistant, you'll go to the store, scroll down here, and find this FA Digital Assistant, and you're going to pull it through. I've already pulled mine through, but if yours is not pulled through, you'll want to pull that through. And once you do, you'll see it in this Digital Assistant area. So let's take a look at this and what is inside of it. You'll see this column on the left side for skills. Skills are sort of a general categorization of capabilities that this digital assistant can do. So for example, if you are doing approvals within the system, there's a whole skill for approvals. If you are doing hiring, like I mentioned with requisitions and recruiters, there's a hiring skill for that. So it's roughly based around capabilities that you can do with the assistant. So as a digital assistant by itself, you could set this up in the system, but you can't customize it. You can't tell it what you don't want to see, what you do want to see. And you'll notice here this enabled on off is set to on, and we can't change it. If you would like to do customizations, we need to take another step and also extend this digital assistant. So let me show you how to do that. You'll go back out to digital assistant. You'll select these three dots and you'll hit extend. And I recommend you do this anyway, because like a lot of things in Oracle, you want to take a copy of it and do your own customizations on a different version to ensure that you have a base version to go back and look at later in case something breaks, in case something throws an error at you, you have something to reference that you know works. So you would fill this out with whatever you would like, and then hit extend. I won't hit extend because I've already done that, but you'll hit extend and then you'll see it come up next to this FA Digital Assistant as its own digital assistant. So it's just taking a copy of that. And then you'll notice now that I have control over these individual skills, whether I want to enable them or not. And that's getting started on this customization piece. Okay, so let's say, great, you have this capability, but within these categorizations, these skills, you also want to do more customizations. And you want to change things within there, what it says, make it more your flavor. You also need to extend the individual skills. So let me show you how to do that. You'll go to the skills tab here. Find the skill that you want to extend and customize. And so let's say account reconciliation. I'm going to extend it. And same thing with the digital assistant, you're going to put your own name, make it something that makes sense with what your skill you're extending. So I'll just do my initials and then AR. I'll extend it. And this is going to take a second. This is essentially taking a copy of this skill that can now be updated. So once this finishes up, it should go pretty quick. We can go back to the digital assistant, open it up, and then we'll find account reconciliation and update it. So that wasn't an option on the delivered FA Digital Assistant, but now it is because we've extended it. So let's select a new version. I'll select the one I just created and I'll update it. Okay. And now you'll see all of these skills have locks on them, except the one that I just updated. So I can go into the skill and do the changes that I need to do according to the business requirements. All right. And then once we go back into the digital assistant, you'll notice this red dot is attached to this train button now. So that means that this bot needs to be trained in order for it to function correctly. So since we've changed something within this bot, it needs to rewrite itself to make sure that it's functioning correctly. So Oracle recommends you use this trainer TM model. It's a machine learning based model, and that's what I've always used. And so if you ever see that red dot, you want to make sure that you are training the bot, because it won't work unless you don't see this red dot. It's kind of warning you like, hey, this needs to be trained up in order for it to work. If it does need to train, you'll run into issues on the front end. Okay. So let's look at how we can put this into our Oracle Web application. So as of right now, it's not connected to Oracle Web. We navigated here through there, but we still have to link that to Oracle. So let's go to this channels area and add a channel. And this is where I mentioned that this has a lot of capabilities outside of Oracle. So you can hook this digital assistant up to Facebook, to Slack, to Microsoft Teams, to the app as well. And so it lives in this separate area so that you can do those things and not have to worry about the Oracle SaaS product getting in the way. So if I was creating a channel, I'd name it, whatever you want to. Add a description, and then to make it connected to the Oracle Web, you're going to choose this Oracle Web channel type, and then the allowed domains is just an asterisk. You want to disable client authentication, and then you're going to create it. And you'll get something like this. Okay. And what is going to come out of that is the most important part of this link between the two environments is this channel ID. So I'll take a copy of that. And then once you're at this point, you'll need to route it to that, to the extended digital assistant you just created. So let's see what I named it. You'll just go through here and find that one that you extended. Okay, and then enable the channel. All right, and once you've done that, you've done all the steps to connect it within the IDCS environment. So we're going to switch back over to Oracle Web. We're going to go here and make sure somebody has the capability to open sandboxes. And within that sandbox, you're going to want to use the HCM Experience Design Studio. That's where this connection takes place. So let's go to that tool. We'll go to Digital Assistant Configuration. And then you'll notice here this web channel ID asking for that new one that we just created. So I won't paste in the new one, but in your environment, you'll paste in the web channel ID that you got from the channel. All right, and then you'll save and close and publish the sandbox. But once you've done that, you'll almost be there, but you will still be missing the red box in the bottom right corner. And so you'll need to enable it site-wide. So we'll go to Manage Administrator Profile Values. Type in the FA Enable Digital Assistant code. And ensure this says Y. If it's turned to N, turn it to Y, and then save and close. And you should see this box display. Now, one more thing that I'll just talk to is people will be able to see the box, but it'll say an error. And that's because you also need to add the Access Digital Assistant privilege to a role of your choice, a custom role. So if you have an employee role and you want all employees to be able to access this, add that privilege and they should have access to this piece here. Okay, and once you do all those steps, you'll be able to have employees click this and start typing away, see if they can shorten any tasks, see if they can get any information from the bot. One thing I will add as well is you can go to the analytics area of your IDCS environment, and you can make adjustments based on the analytics that you see here. And if there is more data, you'd have much prettier results. But yeah, if once users get in the system, this nice analytics area can help you make better decisions, adjust the bot to better serve your needs. And if people are hitting errors on specific utterances, they're called, things that they type into the bot, you can see those errors there and be able to make those changes. Okay. Thank you. Back to you, Rebecca.
Thank you, Jack. That was great. We did actually have a few questions from the audience for you. First one is, can you use this functionality with your mobile device?
Yeah, good question. So I know somebody probably saw the capability for SMS. We actually use SMS for expenses right now. So there is that capability where you can text the bot back and forth. And it'll connect to Oracle. So our users are able to take a picture of their receipt, send it over text, and it'll show it in the expenses area. So pretty cool functionality.
Great. Yeah, very cool functionality. Second question for you. Are there any commonly used skills to get started?
Yeah, so I'd say the most popular one especially within this delivered digital assistant, is going to be this HCM V2 this skill. The reason for that is because it has the payroll utterances in there. It has the absences one in there. It has the biggest breadth of capabilities within the skill. So definitely going to be the HCM V2. You definitely want to enable that one. And it's going to work with most of the modules that you have enabled outside of core.
Okay, perfect. Great to know.
Awesome.
Well, thank you again, everyone, for joining us today. That is the end of our time. I hope this training was valuable and that you're taking some good learnings back to your work and back to your team. And as always, please reach out with any additional questions, or if you have ideas for future trainings we can provide for you. And keep an eye on your inbox for next month's training. Thanks again and have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.